Welcome back. Today we have the return of a sweet little surprise artist, a kind of well-known fella, who should probably be a big well-known fella. We've seen him once before, in a different iteration, from another time. That's right, it's A1ON, formerly known as A1ON, but now with 100% more cryptography. Another 5 characters with at least one special character, and we'd have ourselves a new password for all of our online banking. The record label who released this EP, as well as his last EP, is Carlioth Records. They take chances, and have a unique palette for music. I'm looking at you, narcolepsy. This label is bad ass, so I'm looking at you, Matt Danger. But I think we've gotten to a point with this artist, A1ON, where it's no longer a chance. A1ON is Henning Olsen Winter, who has a sound like a love child between Asterix and Minogue, or Minogue and Macabre, or Ilyushina and Minogue. I don't really know, but someone is fucking Minogue. There's a life to his music that manifests in all sorts of different ways. A1ON doesn't just use one set of vocals, but 2 or 3 different types to achieve different things within the music. An innocuous string plucking will turn into a melody 4 minutes into a track, and raw electronic leads dance under and through so many fleeting natural sounds that it's impossible to grasp them all on one listen. And maybe even does like reverse bass or something sometimes too. Yeah, and he does that. He does so many things, and seems to land in the intersectional midpoint of all of them, but yet sounds completely fresh and new and full of creative energy. I like all of the music I listen to. I wouldn't listen to it otherwise. It's simple. But I really fucking like Henning Olsen Winter's music. So let's stop rambling about this artist and start rambling about this artist's album. Track 1 starts in a familiar way. At first I thought, oh yeah, I've heard this song and dance before. But I was wrong. Am I embarrassed and ashamed to admit that I had a wrong thought?
Yes! Incredibly so!
Will I change? I don't know. Does anyone really change? Or do we just get better at hiding who we really are until our moments of death are upon us, and even then we leave this world deluded and not knowing what we've become or where we came from? Well, I guess that's a good enough alternative to growing as a person. This track is a fucking riot. The natural sounds, the drip drops, the vocals, the badumping beat, the bells and sounds and everything. It's half natural and half mechanical hypno-thumping madness that spirals your mind and straightens it out. And
you see the truth for the first time. And the truth is that there is nothing, but also that there is everything. And you are one of those things.
Fuck yeah, Psytrance. The outro is perfect in every way. I won't give any spoilers about how you think it's going to go from ambient build into breakbeat into a drop, but instead builds again and then eventually just goes and ends without ever dropping. I would never give something like that away. But I will say that I would have been completely okay with this track going for another 20 minutes. No worries, no problem, fine by me. Track 2, Mother Earth, starts off with absolute peace and harmony. Who doesn't like peace and harmony? I like peace and harmony. Yeah. I like peace and harmony. I like peace and harmony. I'm not such a fan of peace and harmony. What the fuck? Peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. The psychedelia is everywhere, and you truly don't have a moment where the track just rides along without something meaningful and interesting happening. There isn't a moment to think. And good, because thinking is overrated. Thinking causes problems. It creates ideas. And I think we have enough ideas. Maybe you haven't noticed this, but all these ideas come from cold, sad people. You don't see people in Florida and Spain or Darwin and Indonesia coming up with the next big idea, do you? No, you don't. It's all of the cold people. People who don't have beaches or a reason to drink a frozen margarita and shut their fucking mouths. That being said, I am glad that Henning Olsen Winter, the Norwegian, thought this track up. Maybe some thinking isn't such a bad thing. One of the things I've noticed A1ON do differently in this EP is incorporate more euphoric breaks. They have an almost angelic feel to them. The last track of his last EP was Psychotic Madness. That's just a fact. An inconsequential descriptive fact. We all know that past performance doesn't have anything to do with future performance, My financial institution told me so. Unless, of course, you're talking about the human species, consistently fucking up anything good that we've ever created in less than 100 years from the date we made it, over and over again, for the entirety of our existence so far. But don't dwell on that. Listen to some crazy fucking psytrance instead. The break at 6.5 minutes leading into the third act is my favourite section of this entire EP, and that's saying something, because so far it doesn't even feel like there are any sections. Just continuous flows of magic energy. The track is a vibrating people mover of full power and fury. Here's a snippet. And that's the 3 tracks of the EP. The tracks here aren't overtly spiritual, yet they still feel like they have a powerful energy vibrating out from the inside of them. I really think A1ON is one of the hottest psytrance producers out there. Sure, in the future he might make a few questionable artistic decisions here and there, and we'll be sure to let him know. Your music doesn't sound exactly the way I like. But this is an exciting project that, quite frankly, I feel happy to witness. If you want to support this talent, and you should, or this record label, as you should, or if you're looking for a good reason to cancel your monthly payment to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and to replace it with something else entirely, then this EP is the EP for you. That's right, you can buy this album, you can buy it, go online, go to Bandcamp, go to BeatSpace, spend that money. Or like whatever, just listen to it on Spotify. Have fun, and goodbye.